and welcome to Model Kit Stuff, and welcome to another Wooden Wednesday. In today's series of videos, we're going to be having a look at this, which is the Blockbuster from Model Shipways, and they describe it as a high-speed block shaper. So basically, when you buy wooden model ship kits, they tend to have wooden blocks in for the rigging, and they are square, and as anyone who knows anything about a ship will know, is that blocks tend to have rounded edges, and this tool is supposed to do that. Now, I have seen people make their own, and this appears to be along the same lines. In the UK, this is going to set you back just under £10. Roughly. So I thought what we'd do is build it and review it. So it comes in this box, as you can see here. I've not done anything in terms of opening it, looking at what's in there, or assembling it. As you can see, it comes disassembled and you've got to make it yourself. Now, it does say on here that it works like a rock tumbler, including plastic cylinder, wooden parts, and separate, easy to assemble electric wooden parts and separators. Easy to assemble. Well, we will see. It also says an electric drill or rotary tool will be required for operation. So basically, you're going to have to make this thing rotate in the plastic barrel. Its item number is MS272. They're made in the USA, but you can get them in the UK in shops that stock wooden model ships and items for them. So without further ado, let's have a look inside. Okay, so we get one plastic pot with a screw lid, and inside that is a thick brass rod, and that's it. We get some pre-cut sandpaper, which is P100 grit. We got some very thin plywood, laser cut, and some thicker laser cut plywood, and our instructions. Okay, so let's get these parts separated and understand what they are. So this first part here is the spacer. You can see the laser cutting's not great. It's not gone all the way through at the back. And then these are mandrels. Just give those parts a little tidy up. So the first task is to glue this spacer onto one of the mandrels. And what I'm going to do is just line it up against the edge and mark its position out, just for the purposes of gluing. Just get rid of the excess, because that's going to get in the way of the other part that's going on. So that's the first bit done. And then that one goes on like that. Make sure it's all flat and level. If we look at it end on, you can see it overlaps slightly, which is allowing for these to be added. So while that's drying, we can cut our paddles out. Okay, that's our paddles. I'm just going to tidy up the ends. Okay, so that's the paddles done. Let's also cut out the sandpaper. Looks like we've got lots of leftovers, which is good. So we've got one big piece here, which I imagine goes on the inside of the barrel. So that'll go on the inside there like that. The instructions show it being taped. I don't see how that's going to move, but we will do. A nice little collection of roughing sanding pads now. These will come in really handy. So what we're going to do with those is put them in my little container with all my little abrasive pads and bits and pieces. They'll be really handy. These paddles then glue on like so. Now it says glue the 4 1/64 plywood paddles to the mandrel as shown and the 4 sandpaper pieces to the paddles as shown. So that's our internal structure done. I just want all of this to got some offcuts of tape here, which I'm just going to use to tack this together. It appears to be fairly tight in the cup, so I'm not overly worried about it. So that goes in first, and then the cylinder second. And we need a hole in the lid to allow this to pass. So we need to centre it. Well, my rod centering tool just is not big enough. Could do with an adjustable one really. I wonder if they do such a thing. Anyway, I can't find the centre using that, so I think what we'll do is we'll use that. So if I get a rule, and draw some lines, I should get a centre point. Okay, that's my centre part marked out. I can use, if I can find it, I can use an awl to mark the centre. Then all we have to do is drill a hole big enough. I just want to reassure myself that I got that hole in the top, in the centre. So put the tool in. The glue's still drying on that, but it's almost there. There we go. That should be good. So I'm going to glue this in with some gel glue because it's nice and thick. I want to sort of fill the hole a little bit, really. Okay, we can put that in and leave that to dry. Let's find some blocks to put in it. So I have some blocks here that we're going to use as test blocks. These are left over from a previous kit build, and they're a decent size, so they'll show up on camera okay. And we've got a number there, and as you can see, these were shaped at the top to be slightly rounded. That's because they're larger, but these edges are totally square. So we'll just see what this does. So I'm going to put some in each compartment. So I have just uncoupled this from my drill, and we have given the blocks inside a bit of a spin. So let's see how they've got on. Well, it definitely works. The edges of the blocks have been rounded off. So these hard edges have all been rounded off all the way around. Obviously, because what you're doing is just spinning them round, it's relying on them bumping and slowly getting grazed away. It's not dead uniform, but actually they don't look bad at all. I'm quite pleased with them. I think they're very passable. And these, of course, are ones that you might want to stain, or you might want to paint or whatever. But I think they look really great. Much more like the real thing than what we started out with. So I'm quite happy with those. And I guess the longer you leave them in, the more rounded off and wore down they'll get. Now you do get, I've just cleaned this out, but you do get a bit of sawdust in the bottom, which you've got to shake out. So leaving these loose means that you can strip it all out and shake it all out and clean it up. The other thing that I've noticed is that they're coming away a little bit, or at least that one is. So probably before you use it every time, probably worth checking that everything's glued down and what have you, because these edges have also taken a bit of a battering, and probably this has come off whilst going around the inside of the barrel. So I imagine this will wear itself into shape. You can see this edge here is definitely worn down as it's spun down. The squared off corner has tapered down a little bit, and that's the same on every one. So it will find its shape after some uses, but I am really happy with that. So there you have it, the model Shipways Blockbuster. It's a high-speed block shaper. I think that's not a bad tool for just under £10 in the UK, so probably $12 or $13 in the US, I'd imagine. So yeah, there you go. It does exactly what it says. You've seen me build it up. It's not difficult to assemble. You just attach it to your drill and away you spin. So yeah, I think it's a great little tool. So I hope that was useful and informative. Thanks for looking in. Take care, everyone. Have a look at our other tools videos and our other Wood Wednesday content, where we concentrate on wooden model ships. Take care, everyone, and I will see you very soon.